Be excellent to each other and party on. We're back with another Legacy League, and today we are playing BUG Aluren. Aluren is a powerful card that it's existed for like 25, 26 years. It's an amazing enchantment that basically makes all your creatures that cost 3 or less not only be free, but also have flash. So basically, you can just play your Orcish Bowmasters, your Baleful Strix, and your Psychic Frogs, your Ice Fang Coatls, your Uros from your hand for free at any time. It's really powerful. And there's an infinite combo where you play out Cavern Harpy and you can bounce one of your creatures back to your hand, and then you can pay 1 life to return Cavern Harpy to your hand, and you can keep doing this over and over, and you can gain infinite life with Uro and draw your deck. You can do infinite damage with Orcish Bowmasters. You can draw infinite cards with these creatures as well. And the only card that doesn't really synergize with the combo, but it's just so strong that I wanted to jam it in there, Psychic Frog. I think it's a mistake to not be playing 4 Psychic Frog if you can. I think this card is very powerful. It works great with Uro, and of course it can throw our combo pieces if we don't need them. If we have redundancies or if we just ditch the combo plan, we can throw them in there. So rounding this out, we have, of course, the usual cantrips, and we have 4 Force of Wills. I think those are in every single deck I play. But instead of playing Fatal Push, we're playing Abrupt Decay. This is uncounterable, and this can also remove Vexing Bauble, because Vexing Bauble counters cards that you don't spend mana for. So if you get a Aluren out, it doesn't really matter if there's a Vexing Bauble on the table. You can't cast your creatures. So the mana base is very conservative in that we have 10 fetches and 10 fetchables. The fetchables include 5 basic lands. The reason we're playing basic lands, not just because of Wasteland, is because Icefang Coatl gets Death Touch if you have 3 or more ice or snow permanents. So this counts as a snow permanent, and then these lands each count as a snow permanent. So if you have 2 snow-covered lands and 2 Icefang Coatls, both your Icefang Coatls will have Death Touch. Or if you have 1 Icefang Coatl and 3 snow-covered lands. Now, basic lands are clunky, but this deck is pretty slow. I mean, don't look at it as a combo deck. It's not a combo deck by any means. It is a mid-range deck that has a possible combo finish. And this combo finish, I've never done it before. It's going to involve a ton of clicking, a ton of holding priority. I will be amazed if I can actually pull this off. I'm going to learn a lot. I imagine a lot of opponents are just going to concede the moment I start to go off. But for those that make me actually, click, it's going to be a long one. So I just want to start this league off with a warning that this could be extremely long. But we'll see what happens. Sideboard-wise, we've just got really good interaction. We've got 2 Force Negations in case we're up against combo. We've got a Force Vigor in case we're up against artifact or enchantment-based decks like Beanstalk, like Painter. We've got a couple of Endurances as our graveyard removal, which are all-stars against Delver. Also very good against Delver. We have Carpets. We also have 3 Hydroblasts and 3 Consigned to Memory. And we have Harbinger of the Seas, which seems like a non-bow with our 3-color deck. But because we're playing a lot of basic lands, we can potentially grab a swamp and a forest and still play everything. And it's worth noting that everything in our deck can be cast off of 1 island, 1 swamp, and 1 forest, except we can't bring back Uro and we can't cast Aluren. Now, that is a big, this locking off the combo is a big deal. But our deck is really well disposed to be able to beat unfair decks that are cheating on mana, like 12 post. If you want to call that out, I'll just call it ramp decks. And, land multi mana decks like Cloud Post, like the Mishra's, or what is it? Urza's Tower and Planar Nexus, those kinds of decks. You can shut those off. You can screw Eldrazi off of their colorless mana and make it to where they can't cast their Eldrazi creatures. I think this belongs here just because our deck is slow and it doesn't play Wasteland. This is one of the first decks I've played in a long time that doesn't play any Wastelands at all. It doesn't play any Stifles. It doesn't interact with your opponent's mana at all. Basically, it's just trying to do its thing, draw its cards, get its board presence, and then eventually either kill you with Uro or Psychic Frog or just go off. So this should be a lot of fun. We're going to do 5 matches As usual, we're doing a full Legacy League here. I'll see you in round 1. All right, we're here for round 1 up against a player who most recently was playing Eldrazi aggro. We've got lands, we've got spells, we've got half the combo. I really like Icefang Quaddle and Baleful Strix if we're up against Eldrazi. So my plan is probably to go ahead and get a basic island into play, get a basic forest into play, try to get Icefang into play, or alternatively we could go the blue-black route and we have an Uro to potentially gain some life and get us some value later. Let's keep this. All right, Urza's Tower. It looks like a mana ramp strategy. Vexing Bauble, the card that I mentioned during the deck tech that basically prevents our combo from working. Well, I'm not feeling favored already. I think what we can do here is we could go ahead and Island Ponder and see if we can find... I don't know what we do game 1 because if they have the mana, they have the mana. We're not a fast deck by any means. So this is not going to be a competitive league like this. I did a big tournament and I went like 3-3-1 with this deck like a little over a year ago. There is the combo, but the combo doesn't matter if we can't do the thing. These are not bad cards by any means. We could hold on to them, and if we do get Aluren going, it'll be pretty strong. So next turn we could Icefang Quaddle and we could draw all these. I think I'll do that. And we're just going to hope that our opponent is not super duper explosive. If they just untap and play the Planar Nexus, yep. They've got 4 mana, 1 ring coming. Karn. Okay, let's see what Karn gets. The good news is we can kind of chip at Karn. Oh, they just plus Karn. Okay. So I think what I'm going to do here, I think I'll just play out the forest because we know we want the Aluren underneath it. And I'll pass, and then I can Icefang next turn. And then I can even go get a swamp, and then this has Death Touch, which is unlikely to matter. Okay. My opponent, for some reason, they added 3 mana before they put Karn in the pool. Or they put, okay, Mycosynth Lattice. Well, that is going to be game if it resolves. They don't have the mana, but they could have, another, card in. They could Crop Rot here. There's the crop rotation. Okay. And it's important to note that this is a +1 ability. There is 5 mana. They need 1 more. They want to get Mycosynth. Oh, wait, they do have Mycosynth mana. We already know what's on top. There's no point in showing anything else. I'm just going to concede. Okay, so we have lots of options against this. We didn't show them very much. They probably have no idea what we're on. Nobody plays Aluren anyway. But by not showing them Icefang, I think we did keep some vital information. So cards that I think should come in here, Consign to Memory. Very good against artifact creatures, and it's very good against Karn, which is a colorless planeswalker that we can counter. We might want to bring this in too. Cards that are less important. Bowmasters isn't terrible. We could just board out the combo. That's always an option. I don't think we board out the combo. I will tell you that some amount of these Strixes and stuff are just not going to do anything here. They're just really kind of slow cards to play. Bowmasters is good because it can pressure a Karn and it can also win against a 1 ring. Let's say hypothetically we just took out, and our blue count is through the roof, by the way. So we don't really need to worry about blue count. If we do cut these cards, they could have Urza Saga. I assume they have 4 Urza Saga in their deck, but they may not. I'm not sure if 12 post decks are playing Urza Saga. So if they're not, then I think we take these out. And our blue count's going to remain almost exactly the same, but we're suddenly really well disposed to be able to win. Now, we do have the combo, but we don't have a lot of creatures to benefit from it. We've got, I think, 14 creatures in the deck. I think we just run it like this. Yeah. Force Negation is really good against a lot of the big cards they're trying to resolve. I think we have a total of 16 creatures, including the this hand's good. This has the combo. It's going to take a few turns to get there, but we're going to run this. All right, I'm going to keep. I think we want to hold all these combo cards, so I'm going to do a surveil land in step. They're mulling to 6. So I'm fine with pitching Ponder, but I don't want to pitch Harpy or Uro because combined they gain us infinite life and draw us infinite cards. All right, so I'm going to go fetch the blue-black. We're not going to play on basics this game. Okay. Let's go get the blue-black land. Undercity Sewer. Another land would be great. I don't think this is what we want. I'm going to put it into our graveyard and maybe it'll make our opponent think and maybe overthink about it. That would be nice. Okay. Frog is very much what we want here. So I'm just going to go black, blue, frog. And this might be able to get quite a bit of action here if we can force successfully what's coming up next. The fact that they're playing Vexing Bobble makes me think maybe they are. Oh, no. We don't have a way to interact with that in our entire deck. That sucks. Yeah, it's just on the table from now on, unless they somehow cycle it away. All right, so I do think we just ponder, we try to find land, and we gradually work our way toward having, like, going wide. These are all good cards. I think we want land, though. There's nothing we need to put back. I'm going to any order shuffle. Abrupt Decay will definitely come in handy later. You know what? I'm just going to ponder again because I really want to find a land here. We need forward momentum. All right, we found land. So I'll put this back and maybe we'll take both of these. Yeah. Abrupt Decay is good if they play a Vexing Bobble. But 2 turns from now, we'll be able to basically dump our entire hand. I mean, 2 turns from now, if they don't do anything, we can, in theory, win. Now, in paper, it'd be easy for me to win. It'd be trivial. I think we hold this because we can just Abrupt Decay it. Yeah, I'm just going to Abrupt Decay. Okay, there's a Cloud Post. All right. We're going to go ahead and draw. And what we can do here, I'm trying to think if there's any benefit to doing anything other than just Abrupt Decaying it now. We Abrupt Decay now, they could play a second one. That would be bad. I mean, they could play a second one now. I don't really care if they draw off of it. There's no benefit to playing Cavern Harpy out. I can do that for free. There's no benefit to playing Uro back. It actually makes it harder for me to go off. Actually, okay, hear me out. So, no, I think I'm just going to wait and I'm going to decay. And again, I know I'm giving them a card, but I want to hold off until the last second, letting them know that we have Abrupt Decay. If they have One Ring, that's fine. Oh, just playing that, huh? Okay. All right, and now to my knowledge, there's nothing they can do to stop this. So I'm just going to go ahead and try to do it first. Okay, they're going to draw. They've got tons of mana. It's scary. They have no idea what to name here. They might name Force of Will, but I don't care about that. I do need to activate these, though, because they could name a fetch. Okay, so let's get a Bayou. And then I'm going to go get a Hedge Maze. I'm going to put this on top of my library. I think there's a decent chance they name it. But now, since I used my mana, they don't have a reason to name Bowmaster. Wasteland. Okay, we don't care about Wasteland. All right, so they get to draw a card. Our Abrupt Decay fizzles. But now, as long as they don't screw up, we can win the game. All right, so let's go blue, green, green. Doesn't matter. Aluren. Okay, and now I believe the way it works is I can play this out, cast without paying a mana cost. Okay, it's going to come into play. I should have priority. So I'll get the card. Now I'll play this out. And we'll see whether they're going to make me play this out. Okay. Now that dies. And now what I can do is I can play this out again. It's going to be so much clicking. My goodness. Sure, I'll put that out. Return. Play it out. Bounce this. Play it out. My opponent's asking me how I killed him. I just need to get my life up a little bit. Okay. They, I think they conceded. They trusted that I had the Bowmasters in hand. They didn't want to make me click it out. Now, they could have absolutely made me click it out, but I would have gotten through it. It would have just taken a lot of clicks. Bowmasters is, yeah, it would be like, I don't know, like 4 or 5 clicks per damage. So I'd have to do it like 20 times. So I'm glad I didn't have to do that. I didn't see anything that made me want to change my strategy here. I think we just run it back. And again, my opponent, Cable Wire, if you're watching this, I appreciate you not making me click. All right. So this doesn't have the combo, but it's a pretty good hand. I think we keep and we open Hedge Maze. Okay. Bobble. So this is why we're playing 3 Vexing Bobble, because this card is everywhere and it completely stops our combo. We drew the combo. All right. I think what we want to do is we want to dig for Abrupt Decay. We don't need more land. I'll just put that in the graveyard. One of the reasons we're playing 10 fetch, by the way, is because we have so many permanents, but we still want to be able to feed Uro, and fetches are perfect for that. Okay, Cloud Post comes out. All right, so we're only 2 games into the set, and already we've done the thing, which makes me feel all warm and fuzzy. I'm going to brainstorm here because I would love to put back some of these cards. Okay, so we don't need Force. Well, is it better than these lands? Let's see. We need 3 more lands to get there. I think we could put back this. I don't think using basics is going to matter here. We can put back, I think we put this back. Now we play this out. We can fetch the blue-black land in step, and then we'll have Abrupt Decay mana. Yeah, and maybe I should have just been patient and like waited, but I do think there's a good chance I'll draw another one. This is fine. Nothing I can do about this. Yep. They've got a lot of the mana. Echoing Deeps. Okay. Another Yavimaya. They can potentially exile our lands, which is terrifying if they're playing Sowing Mycospawn, and there's nothing I can do about that currently. I mean, there wouldn't be anything I could do about it anyway. So I'm going to get the Undercity Sewer. We don't need another one of these. All right. Let's see what we draw here. Consign to Memory, such a good card. Yeah, I think we just play out the land. And if we hold up Consign to Memory and Abrupt Decay, we could potentially stop they got this back, which makes me think that they may have Sowing Mycospawn. I'd love to stop it completely. You can see that, like, even though I've got this Psychic Frog in hand, we're going to Abrupt Decay now, and we're going to dig for a land, and there might be a turn where we don't have it, but we will keep Consign to Memory up in case they play Follow-Up Bobble. I would say at this point, Frog is the most likely pitch to force, which sounds like an extreme thing to say. As far as X then draws a card. I mean, we could just counter this. I'm not opposed to just countering it. They're low in cards. That is my reasoning for being willing to counter this. I'll feel like a fool if they just play. That is not a big deal. I can hit Vexing Bobble. I mean, I could hit Vexing Bobble and I could just counter it. Let's do that. They can draw a card if they'd like. They have a ton of mana, but they don't have anything else going on as far as I can tell if I stop their business spells. I think we pitch Ponder here. Then if we don't rip a land, we can at least play Psychic Frog. I don't know. We don't actually have like the full combo. So I'm inclined to Psychic Frog just to get a little more action here. Harbinger would be... Let's see. Can we even win if we play Harbinger here? I don't think we can. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and Frog, and then I can play Harbinger and just win with Frog. If for some reason they do have Maze Vith again. Because basically once Frog is on the table, we just put this out, and then they may be able to kill this, but they wouldn't necessarily be able to kill the Psychic Frog at the same time. I am worried about them just exiling a bunch of my lands, though. They currently have 5 mana. It's not enough to play with Kicker. All right, here's what I'm going to do. This might seem crazy. This is crazy. I'm doing it. I'm freaking mad, lad. They're not going to expect this angle of attack. All right, now we have a serious clock. This is going to resolve. I have no idea what they're going to name, but they probably won't name Harbinger of the Seas when we have like literally no basics on the table. Aluren, okay. I just pitched Aluren. All right, so I can go get a basic here. I think I'm going to do that. Basic swamp gives us the most flexibility. I can't actually get a basic swamp. I'm just going to get a basic forest. I'm not sure how that helps us actually, but it does let us cast Uro on the front half. Harbinger. Okay, and now I'm going to attack. I definitely could have attacked first and maybe found a land. That is uncastable, unfortunately. We can pitch it to Psychic Frog. They're going to have to kill both of these before we kill them. That's fine. They're probably just going to crack it. Trying to draw toward a basic, trying to draw toward something that they can use. They have nothing but blue mana now. I'm going to attack with all creatures. I'm not going to... I don't know what they could do here. I'm going to discard both of these cards. We're going to do 7 damage. I think we've got them on like a 2-turn clock at this point. Force doesn't do anything, but it might. We'll see what we draw. I'll probably just keep it in hand. Karn. Karn can unfortunately get Ensnaring Bridge, but they won't have the mana to cast it. I'm trying to think of what they would get here. They could have plussed on Disruptor Flute to block. Yeah, I'm just going to kill Karn here. Actually, I can just counter the Ensnaring Bridge. So I still think it's correct to kill Karn. We're going to get a card here. I now have both Hard Cast, Force of Negation, and Force of Will. So I feel very confident that I'm going to be able to win this. They did find their basic forest. Ensnaring Bridge. I'm going to counter this. They are dead on board. Yeah, and I think that lag is them conceding. Wow, that went better than I expected to. All right, let's go to round 2. So we did combo once, and we also won with the fair plan with Psychic Frog. I like Psychic Frog as an addition. Again, the reason this deck isn't played anymore, even though it was marginally playable like a year and a half ago, is because the printing of Orcish Bowmasters, which there are a lot of X1s in the deck, and now the printing of Vexing Bauble. But as we've seen, Abrupt Decay is a good card. It can hit practically anything. We were, even if they had resolved the Ensnaring Bridge, we were drawing to Abrupt Decay. All right, we're back for round 2. We are not sure what our opponent is on. This is a keepable mid-range hand. This doesn't do anything combo-y, but it's good cards. I think we keep it. So our opponent plays a lot of Penny Dreadful, and they didn't have any legacy finishes that I could find. They could be on anything. My instinct is to go ahead and lead with Undercity Sewers. See if we can get a good surveil here. I don't think we need more land. I'm going to put it in the graveyard. All right, we'll see what they do here. If they just combo our face off, that's a risk we took. Misty Rainforest for Trop. Trop for Delighted Halfling. Great, the Nadu deck. Well, we are also a creature-based combo deck. Unfortunately, if we get our combo into play, it basically enables our opponent to go off. That's another reason why you shouldn't play Aluren, is because you're just giving your opponent the ability to kill you. I think Psychic Frog is the play here. They don't actually play any removal at all. We don't have any 1-drop removal. The only removal in our deck is the 3 Abrupt Decays. So we're not going to be able to brainstorm into removal to stop Delighted Halfling. I think Baleful Strix is too passive. So what I'm going to do So I'm just going to go ahead and Psychic Frog. And if Nadu comes out, Nadu comes out. Nadu is something that we can kill with Abrupt Decay. So what we can do next turn is we can potentially fetch and cast Abrupt Decay on a Nadu if that's what they're going to do here. But yeah, I didn't realize it until I was looking at the deck last night. Like a lot of people are playing this deck, but like generally these decks do not play Plow. Not the Living Wish version, which is like the turbo combo. Teferi. Well, Teferi's a good card, and it's probably going to bounce my frog. Yep. The good news is we can ping Teferi next turn with Orcish Bowmasters. The bad news is they're likely to resolve Nadu next turn. Force. Oh, actually, no, we can't. We can't resolve Force on Nadu because they've got freaking Delighted Halfling. And even if we Bowmasters here, there's a chance that they'll just play out something else. I think what we do though is, you know, in the event that they are going to have to Living Wish or something, we'll absolutely counter that. I'm just going to go ahead and play this now. There's a chance that they counter it, and there's nothing we can do because they've got Teferi out. All right, cool. What I'll do is I'll fetch the other Surveil land if they don't just completely win here. And when I say completely win, all they have to do is have the they don't have white, so they can't cast. Okay, this is Nadu coming down. This is Leovold, which we can't interact with. I'm going to go ahead and get this Brainstorm out of our hand. Okay, so I think at this point we should probably abandon our desire to play on basics. And I'm just going to Brainstorm here. All right, we didn't find anything good at all, actually. The problem with Leovold is Bowmasters, like it basically creates like an infinite loop with Bowmasters where like you ping them and they get to draw a card. So I'll put back Strix, which doesn't do anything in the face of Leovold. And I will put back one of these Psychic Frogs. And then next turn, I'll shuffle away the Strix. So a lot of the cards in our deck are completely dead now. Let's see what their last card is. So another Delighted Halfling. X equals 1, that's fine. They have a lot of permanents on the table. We have no way through. Even if we get a Psychic Frog and make it large, we're still not going to get cards off of it. Still, I think playing Psychic Frog is the right thing to do here. So I'm going to go ahead and do black. I'll do black, blue, Psychic Frog. I think we just have to pass. We have Bowmasters, which can serve as a surprise. We do have a Force. My hope is that somehow we can like force a Living Wish or a Green Sun Zenith that would get Nadu. If this is Green Sun Zenith, I will force this. That is a Force. Kinetic Curator is quite good. Our hope is fading fast. Trying to think. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and put these Bowmasters on the table. I want to just start pinging stuff. That's what I'm going to do. Ping stuff. Yeah, let's... How's it? It starts as a 3-3? I thought it started as a 2-2. That card is ridiculous. Yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and play this out now. I don't know that there's any reason to play it out now. Boom. Okay, do you want to draw? Oh, wow, they're too scared to draw off of it. That's good for me. All right. Now what I'm going to do, I spend Queddles, pretty terrible, but I can cast it during their turn to draw a card. So it's not atrocious, but I think we go ahead and fly. So let's exile 1, 2, 3. I am going to... I'm not actually going to discard this, am I? I don't think it's correct to discard there. I'm just going to go... yeah, there's no reason to attack. Yeah, I'm just going to... well, I think I do attack. I don't think it hurts. I think this was just a bad attack overall. Don't know that there's any benefit to giving it extra damage. I'll feel bad if, I'll just, I guess, hit him for 1. That was like the most pointless attack. We don't get to draw a card. I'm just going to go black, blue here. I'm not even sure that I should cast it out because I might be able to find something good off the top with Ice Fang Coatl. I'll just wait and I'll cast Ice Fang Coatl. If I find Abrupt Decay, that's good. Okay, Meticulous Archive. Their mana base is just as janky as mine right now. Putting Force into the yard. Is this Nadu? I'm going to go ahead and green, blue, Ice Fang. We do get the card because Leovold only stops. It's like the second card per turn. We don't have anything we can do here. They're going to be able to get Nadu, but they may not have the other card to actually combo with Nadu. If they attack with Leovold, I'll throw everything in front of it. Okay. So they have the combo. We have nothing. All right. I think we just attack with Psychic Frog again. They probably won't block with Nadu. I'll pitch discard, which is terrible here, objectively. They're going to try to exile our graveyard, but then they realize, oh, he can just exile it himself. Okay, so I'll exile 3 cards here. 1, 2, 3. And this may seem super passive, but I don't know what else to do here. Now I'm going to go to combat, and I'm going to swing. I doubt they're going to block, but if they do, I will happily pitch 2 cards from my hand. I'm going to discard this. I know that I'm giving up on... it doesn't matter, but it does do some damage to them. Yeah, I know that I'm giving up on being able to Ice Fang into Force. That's fine. We need to watch our clock. We're the ones that are comboing off, so I need to be more proactive here. That's one of the reasons I'm attacking in is like I just can't afford to wait around. They're going to have the 7/7 Trampler. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and attempt to draw a card and see if I can find Abrupt Decay here. I didn't. I'm going to concede. I'm not going to play it. Oh, wait. I'm just going to F6 through these and let them do their combo. Okay, just a quick update. They have built quite an army here. I'm going to block here and here. I think that's it. And we'll see. They're tapped out of Plow. I think this will successfully kill that. But they did spend like 3 minutes. So they're like basically, we're caught up on clock. I don't have any illusions. So we're going to be able to win. They're going to be able to get, what is this? 6, 7. So they're going to get 14 cards whenever they want. I think I'm just going to go ahead and brainstorm here. I'm trying to think of what I could find. Finding the combo is not enough. I mean, that's part of the combo. It would be great to go infinite now that we can draw. I don't think I should show them the combo just because then they're going to prepare for it and I'm actually going to board it out. I don't actually have a green source though. Oh no. Oh wait, I can just get anything because I've got plenty of green. Let's just go ahead and play it out. They've got a ton of cards in hand. I actually think this one might distract them. And they might think I'm a bad player. Like, why did you just play that? Oh, what a dumbass. And then I can, because I have nothing in hand, there's no reason for them to fear whatsoever. I just want to confuse them because I'm going to take this out. I'm not going to attack or anything. But now they know I'm Aluren, they might change how they sideboard. And I'm planning to board the entire Aluren package out. It's only 6 cards. So we board out the 6 bad cards, the Alurens and the Cavern Harpies, and then we're just playing other stuff. Note that they didn't even flip any cards. They're just going to combat. So this is lethal. I'll just let it through and we'll die. But I get to show them Aluren. So hopefully that affects sideboarding. All right. So if we take out Aluren, the cards we can bring in, Carpet is okay. It's not terrible. Harbinger seems good. Harbinger seems actively good because they are playing so many colors. I think Endurance is not a great card, but it's not a bad card. I mean, it can potentially jump in and surprise. I didn't see any enchantments in their deck. Force negation may not be irrelevant if you think about it. Like, it can potentially stop their counter magic. It can also potentially stop. So this is my list of cards I would, consider bringing in. These are definitely coming out. The other card, of course, is Carpet. Carpet's actually really good with Harbinger, because if we have a Carpet out and we Harbinger, then like we have a ton of mana because every land they have is an island. The Endurance doesn't directly help us. They don't use their graveyard for anything. It's just a big creature. I'm inclined to think that we don't need it, because we have lots of things that can trade with them 1-for-1. The way this is going to win is either we just lock them with Orcish Bowmasters, kick them with Frog, or jump them with Uro. Yeah, and I like keeping the Force Negation in just as... you know what? I think I'm going to have a higher threat density, and I'm not going to play the Force Negation. It just feels super weak to me. We may be able to out-aggro them with like cards like Endurance. And I just revel in the idea of sniping some greedy attack. Now, they have no reason to attack because they can just assemble the combo. But now that they see that we're on Aluren, they may be a little bit more assertive. Okay, I think this is good. What I'm going to do is I'm going to Undercity Sewer, and then next turn I can Frog. That's a keep. That's material, and it can help us draw cards. We will do anything we can to stop Green Sun Zeniths. I will force this just because. Will I force it? It may slow them down. If we don't force this, we're not forcing anything, though. I'm just going to force it. The next turn, we're going to play Psychic Frog, and we're just going to hope to ride that to victory. Like, just steady attacks every turn. Black, blue, Frog. I am willing to pitch my entire hand because I don't believe they have any removal, at least not main deck. They don't have any Death Touch creatures. There's no reason to think that our Psychic Frog wouldn't be able to attack and get a lot of damage in. Brainstorming here, which tells me they may have like a fetch land. They may have a Green Sun Zenith. They're just going to Green Sun for 0. Okay, fetch land it is. Probably a Surveil land. Or they could be chaining cantrips. But we have Psychic Frog on the table. Tundra. Oh no, do they have a Plow? I'll be sad if they have Plow in their deck. They may have boarded it in. Nomad's fine. That means that next turn they can go off with Psychic Frog. Or not Psychic Frog, with Nadu. I'm just going to draw. That is a good card. So unfortunately, it's going to have to point at the Nomad. I'm going to attack first and see what they do. I don't think they're going to block. I can't imagine a world in which they block. We're going to get a card. Delta's a great pickup. Now I can Ponder. There's nothing to put back, so I'd rather Ponder than Brainstorm here. I can take one of these cards. I think we want to take Force. Psychic Frog is going to get us really far just by himself. All right. Yeah. So what I'll do is I'll attempt to force Psychic Frog because Nomad doesn't do anything without Psychic Frog. Caracas, that definitely makes me want to force it. And also this means my Uro plan is not going to work, and we probably have to win with Psychic Frog and Bowmasters. Or like Insane Weenie Beats, which I don't think is going to get us there either. I was just going to pitch. I'll pitch this. I like material. All right. And now we don't have to use our Abrupt Decay. So I will just go get... I was going to get a basic swamp with this. I think it's correct, though, to wait and see if we get the... I'll just get a Bayou. That way we have all our colors. Blue, green, Quaddle, draw. We need to play fast. We've got to win 2 games. Strix, good pickup. Uro. I think we can pitch Uro to the yard, but I don't think that's even that strong. I'm just going to attack with everything first and see what I draw. If I can find a land, then I will cast the Baleful Strix. Otherwise, I probably need to keep Abrupt Decay open. Okay. If they have a second Nadu, we're totally screwed. We have to have this Abrupt Decay up. So we can't really do anything until we find the second land. I'm just going to wait. I probably could have dumped some cards into Psychic Frog there. Also worth noting that like that resolves, unfortunately. I'm definitely tempted. They're probably going to put a Nomads back here if they have a shuffle, and then I might Abrupt Decay the Nomad because I can't just be hanging out waiting. Also, they have a freaking Caracas, so they can just bounce Nadu back to their hand. So, yeah, we're in a tough spot. Brainstorming again. Would love to find one of my Orcish Bowmasters so I can shut some of this down, but they've already brainstormed 3 times. Orcish Bowmasters itself is another natural, like 1 mana answer to Nomads. So it makes me not want to fire off the Abrupt Decay on the Nomads. Yeah, I feel like if I don't do this though, who knows when I'll eventually draw an answer to this. Another Psychic Frog. I think we go ahead and attack first. I am going to discard Uro here. Just get some extra. Yep. 3 damage instead of 2. Draw a card. Is it a land? It is. Okay, so what we can do now is I'm going to go ahead and play out this Psychic Frog first, and I'll keep a good blend of colors up. Or actually, I'll play out the Strix first. I'll draw. Force would be great. Oh, wow. We're lucky. I'm going to play out the other Strix, or the other Psychic Frog, and I'll pitch Strix. Because I want to have maximum forward momentum here, and Psychic Frog represents that. If they, for some reason, have a sweeper in their deck, I'll force it. But other than that, there's not a lot I can do here. I'll definitely force Leovold. I'll force Green Sun Zenith. My hope is that they can't multi-spell here. They can only 1 spell. That's fine. We have them dead in like maybe 2 turns. So we're going to be doing 5 next turn. That's fine. The more cantrips they fire off, the better. We got so lucky finding that force. This is 3 forces that we found. No thank you. Not with Caracas to freaking bounce it back to hand and stuff. Are they going to force back? If they force back, I'll accept it because I am applying a lot of pressure and they'll be down to 1 card, which means they won't have the combo in hand. And then we'll just fly our frogs over and do damage that way. Everything else is flying. They are forcing back. They pitched Uro. That's actually pretty good because Uro could have gained them life and potentially raced us. All right, so our frogs aren't going to draw cards, which sucks. I think at this point, yeah, feeding the frog to the other frog is fine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to attack here, 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 and here. And then I'm just going to give this flight. Yeah, I'm just going to play to win this next turn. I don't care about them attacking me. And then let's go ahead and give flight. 1, 2, 3. And then this one will get some flight too. Get rid of our creatures here. Okay. So we're going to do 6 damage here. They're going to plow one of them. That's fine. They're out of cards. So they're taking 4. Next turn, we can not kill them. We can only attack them for 5. 7 Safekeeper is fine. They could double block the frog here. That's fine. I don't care about their damage. I just care about their combo. Abrupt Decay is good here. No, it's not good. This is not terrible. We'll go ahead and do it now. Blue, black. No. I'm going to discard this. We can't draw with it anyway. Now I'm going to go to combat and we're going to attack them down to 1. Okay, and I will exile these. All right, and I think we got it. I think they're just running us out of time, like because we made them play a whole lot of stuff last time. So either of these will connect and kill them next turn, or they'll be force blocking with something. I don't know what they could draw to get back in the game. Even a Nadu is not going to be able to stop all these flyers. All right. So we got a game. I definitely don't think it's correct to board the combo back in. I just think it's not correct. Endurance actually has the positive benefit of putting Uro back on the bottom of their deck, which is pretty good. So I think we probably just played exactly like we did. Yeah, we got super lucky with those forces. They haven't seen Harbinger. We might be able to get them with Harbinger. We have reasons to be fetching basics because they know we're playing Ice Fang Coatl, so they may not suspect anything. So that's what I'm going to hope to do. I'm going to hope to get them with... oh, this is a pretty good hand. Yeah, I'll keep this. And I'm going to just go get an Underground Sea probably with this. Or, yeah, the Surveillion. The blue-black Surveillion probably. Okay, this is fine. I don't care about early plays that ramp. I just care about stopping their business spells. I'd much rather them do that than play Delighted Halfling, which I would probably have no choice but to force. Okay, so I think here we are going to get this Surveillion because I want to surveil until we find the card. This is non-basic. This is basic though, so they already have green and then they'll have blue. So they have like the essential colors. Nadu is going to get forced. Let's see if they force back. Okay, they didn't force back. Right. So I'll surveil. And you might be thinking like, well, they didn't have anything. I mean, that would be attacking us. And it is half the combo. I think we keep this. It was pretty good last game. I mean, they're going to basically have to Green Sun for Leovold to be able to stop that. And now I'm definitely going to do the high upside play, which is play this out. And I'm definitely aware that they could just Green Sun and find another Nadu, or I'm more concerned about them finding Leovold. Okay, let's see if they are wise enough to fetch a basic here. I don't think they can afford to with all the colors in their deck. All right. Do they have the plow? They do. That's fine. 3 cards left in hand. Do they have Nadu? They do. That sucks. Okay, so we are basically in the danger zone here. Endurance doesn't really help us here. We could play out Psychic Frog. We could also just try to find... I think what I'm going to do first is Ponder. Let's see. If we get... Yeah, we have to get a blue or a black source here. Or a blue-black source if we're going to Ponder. Because we would Ponder and then we would Strix probably. Or Ponder and then Psychic Frog. We could just see what we find. This gives us the maximum looks, but what if we find 2 cards we want? I'm going to go ahead and do this. I think it's usually correct to do it this way. We get a Trop here. That way we're closer to casting Endurance. I'll Ponder. Bowmasters is a good card, and this does have a basic Swamp. I don't care about the Bayou does let me cast Endurance. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go like this. Doesn't matter because we're going to draw both of these, but I am going to play out the Strix now just to at least prevent them from being able to attack me. And if they have the combo, they have the combo. I mean, I think this is better though than playing a Psychic Frog. I could be wrong. But we're going to have Bowmasters online, and we might get lucky and just be able to Bowmaster a bunch of their stuff. Okay. They're not attacking, so we abated their aggression. And they don't have the combo. Wow. All right. So we have yet another mana source here. I don't think we attack. I think what I do is I play out Psychic Frog. There's no reason to play the Swamp now. We can always play it later when we get the thing. So I'm just going to go blue, black, Psychic Frog. Next turn, Psychic Frog will go over for a hug. Yeah, and we're just going to see if they... Okay, that's fine. I'd rather them plow that than plow the Orcish Bowmasters. I just want them to brainstorm or do something like that so I can hit them a bunch. Okay, this is... Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and play this out. I'm going to hit them. So whenever somebody Teferis, you always play out your Bowmasters, and then you basically give them a choice. Like, okay, how badly do you want to bounce my permanent out of play? Because Bowmasters is going to kill your Teferi. Okay, they're just plussing, which doesn't really say anything to me. They've got a big blocker. We're like super unfavored here, but we're going to try our best. We don't know what we're drawing. We're drawing wild. Force is a great card to draw here. No, wait, it's not a great card because they've got freaking Teferi over there. I could attack Teferi with Baleful Strix. I don't think they'll block it. It knocks the loyalty off. I think that's the right call. All right, and then what we can do is, we can't endurance during their turn. Okay, I'm just going to endurance now. Yeah, I mean, this is the only window that I can endurance. It doesn't really do a lot. I'll put this stuff back in their deck. I don't think it's a big deal if they have a bunch of plows in their deck. I don't want them to be able to use that for Uro. Next turn, we can attack with endurance. And we could probably kamikaze like an orc as well, just to try to knock some loyalty off Teferi if they uptick. All they have to do is find Nomad's Inkcore and they win. But they can't find Nomad's Inkcore with Green Sun Zenith. Okay, and they're not attacking. All right, this is pretty good. I say we go ahead and see what we find here. I'd still like to find Abrupt Decay. Forcing it. Wow. Okay. That's a lot of respect, but I guess they had Hardcast Force up. So I'm going to attack with this, and with this, and with this. And I think they'll probably just block the Orc Army token, but we'll knock a lot of loyalty off Teferi here if they do just block the Orc Army token. They could bounce, okay, yeah. Okay, so we're going to get 2 loyalty off. Okay, we're going to get 4 loyalty off. That's pretty good. They'll uptick, and Teferi will have 1 loyalty, but I'm feeling good. A Bowmaster off the top pings Teferi to death. We can see that they're very squeamish about, let's see if they keep their top. That's always scary. They put a great brainstorm in the graveyard thanks to Orcish Bowmaster. So Orcish Bowmasters is doing their job. Yeah, that's a good card. So I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to wait until after combat, and then I will surprise them. Because if I do this now, they might be inclined to throw Nadu in front. I don't think they would. I think they'll just let it go. This is actually pretty good for me because I can kill Nadu. I think that's worth doing. They get a single card. Okay, they can cast something here. Prismatic Ending. Okay. So that does remove that. Okay, and now they have nothing in hand, so Nadu's going to die. It's worth doing this. Just getting Nadu out of play. And then next turn, we should have a clean shot at Teferi. So they revealed Nomad's Inkcore. Holy cow, they would have drawn it. It's terrifying. Okay, well, now they have to get another Nadu or a Green Sun Zenith to go with their... But, I mean, they have lots of redundancy. I think we're probably dead now that they found that. There it comes. I can't interact. And another one. Wow. Okay. All right. Okay, let's see what we draw here. It'd be great if we had a way to force them to draw, but we don't. I think we attack with Nomads and we attack with Endurance. I'm not to the point where I'm desperate enough to send my Bowmasters over, because they could still just block with the Arbor. I think they probably block with one of them. Oh, they don't block either of them. Well, that's great. Now we have Force. I think we hold so we can force whatever they draw. And then once we've used up Force, then we'll play out the Psychic Frog. I know that seems passive, but they have so many live draws here. Right? Nothing. Wait, oh, it was just a land. Right. I'm going to go ahead and attack. I think I need to start attacking with everything. And then I'll just commit Endurance to the board after. I think they're highly likely to take out my Bowmaster. Well, they just took it. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and I'll just pass. I can endurance, end step, and apply even more pressure. Caracas. All right, we're feeling good. They're not attacking. They know this race is futile. Green, endurance. Put these cards back in your deck. I know that increases the likelihood of you drawing a Nadu, but I don't care. My philosophy is it's almost always a mistake not to just clear that. Now we have force up. They're going to have to start blocking soon. I think we are super duper lethal next turn. If I go ahead and play out this Psychic Frog, we're extra lethal. Yeah. And then I don't believe there are any cards that can cast here. I think we deterministically won here. This is going to get forced. This is a Green Sun Zenith and it will get forced. The real question is, can they somehow block enough damage to survive? I don't think they'll be able to. Wow. I did not expect this matchup to go this way at all. Yeah, that was crazy. I'm so glad I have you along for Aluren in 2024. Let's go to the next round. All right, we're back against an unknown opponent named Barf. This is a solid mid-rangey hand. I think we keep it, and we'll see what they're on, and we'll have a better idea. But like with this deck, I mean, as you just saw, it can be a perfectly reasonable mid-range deck and just attack with creatures and win that way. Crashing Footfalls. Okay. I think we're actually favored against this deck. Yeah, I'm trying to think of why we wouldn't be. We have lots of we have Uro in our deck for one. That's a huge card against them. I haven't played against this very much because they have let's see, we have so many lands. If I can find a Brainstorm, that's really good. I don't want to play on basics. I think okay, my line is simple. I'm going to go ahead and just get my Surveil in. And I'm going to pass. I'm going to keep all this action up. It's not keeping any action up, actually. But I'll get my free Surveil, and I'll just hold Ponders for later. Because there are going to be turns where we cannot double spell, because almost everything in our deck is 2 mana, and we'll just 3 mana do it. And I want to make sure we have lots of blue cards in hand for potential Force of Wills. If we find forces, we're keeping them. We do have a lot of options post-board, because we have... interesting. I think Consign to Memory will actually stop the Cascade trigger. It can stop Cascade trigger. It can stop the actual suspend when they manually pay for it. All right. Well, we're going to go ahead and Surveil. This is a Blood Moon deck we're playing against, but I'm just not going to respect it until I see it. If we lose game 1 because of Blood Moon, we'll win games 2 and games 3. Games 2 and games 3. No biggie. All right. Cavern Harpy is a combo piece. I think we keep it. All right. And I'm going to Psychic Frog here. Psychic Frog can potentially block those creatures that they're going to be sending our way. The question is, do we want to do it off of basic? If they just untap Blood Moon, we're totally screwed. I'm trying to think if getting an island makes sense here. Yeah, I think I'm going to get an island. Just in case. So at least we can ponder toward, I don't know what. Actually, I'm not even sure how we would win if we had an island. Yeah, I'm going to gradually build up my collection of basic lands. All right, let's see if this invokes a force. Yeah, it does. They forced it. Okay, well, it's a 2-for-1. It's a 2-mana Hymn to Torok, just like Richard Garfield intended. We are going to need the next 2 lands to produce green so that we can cast Aluren. And this has 2 counters on it, so we've got 2 more turns before Rhino Apocalypse begins. All right, a Psychic Frog of their own. How does that work? Are they not Cascade anymore? Like, is cascading into a Rhino considered good? They put another Crashing Footfalls on the stack. Okay. It's too bad we don't have Lavinia or something like that in the yard and in the board. All right. Yeah, because I mean, Cascade, like you're cascading and then you just get a Psychic Frog. That doesn't seem that strong, unless I'm completely underestimating Psychic Frog. I mean, it's a good card, but like to build your entire deck around Cascade and then to just cascade into a Psychic Frog seems super weak to me. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and brainstorm here. We're going to try to assemble the combo. I think that is, oh, Uro's not bad. We're like halfway to the combo. I think here's what we do. Put this back. Put this back. I am going to go get a swamp, and then we're going to cast another Psychic Frog. And then next turn, oh no, if I get a swamp, we're not going to be able to, yeah, I'm going to have to get a trop here. So that way I can cast Psychic Frog and I can still cast Aluren if we draw it. If we draw Aluren, we're like golden because I can just gain infinite life here. And they're going to take probably at least 2 turns to kill us. Okay, and because their hand is basically empty, Psychic Frog gets to reign free. He gets a free ride. All right, one more counter. Counter's coming off of both of these. I mean, it is going to be a lot of cards, but I don't think we have to really worry about it. They attack Psychic Frog. We can just pitch a bunch of stuff and block. They jump, we jump. Okay, cycling a card. Interesting. Oh, this deck design doesn't make any sense to me. What are they doing? Blood Marauder. Okay, Cascade. Can't block. This spell has cascade as long as there are 4 more types. Okay, so this is basically just going to cascade into a Crushing Footfalls, I presume. I'm letting it resolve. There's nothing I can do here. Okay, now we get to see more of their deck. Once Upon a Time, Days, more Architects of Will. Because if Crashing Footfalls happens, these do not have haste. This does not have haste. We need to win through the combo. That's why our fair deck has this combo, so we can win with it. All right, let's see what they do here. Street Wraith? Okay. So I want to figure out what their deck does. Just give me a second. They've got like all these cyclers. They've got freaking Bowmasters. Takes a will. It's just like a really terrible creature that you wouldn't want to hard cast. Well, the good news is I seriously doubt that we're going to run into Bloodwind here. So I don't need to worry about fetching basics anymore. Okay, and they didn't want to attack in. If we draw a learn, game over. All right, so options. We're going to be taking 4, 8, plus 3. It's 11, 12, maybe a 13th one. We Strix. We can trade with this. This doesn't have... or actually, Strix trades with the frog. So I can go get... I'm going to definitely go get Bayou here. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to ponder and see if there are any... No. I could ponder, see if there are any cards I want to keep. And then I could Strix and get that second card. Yeah, I think it's fine. And then... because the only card I'm looking for is Aluren at this point. Okay, we found Aluren. All right, so I'll just take that. I don't want these other lands. I'm not going to be using a land. So I'll just play this out. I'm going to go get a Bayou. Oh, frack. I got the wrong card. What the hell? What the hell is wrong with me? I thought I clicked on Bayou. Okay. I don't know that costs us the game, but it might very well have. Now I need a ponder to get another land. Let's go ahead and ponder and see if we can find a land here. We're keeping up mana to cast the Strix, which we will definitely need to cast here. Okay. No worries. And we found a way to win through direct damage as well. So I will draw here. Now I'm going to go black, blue, Strix, draw trigger. Next turn, we have deterministic kill. We can just gain a bunch of life. No matter if we're really low, we'll just gain a bunch of life with the Uro, and then we can attack in. We'll see how much damage they have on the table, but I don't see any way that they can just burn us out. Sky Turtle. The scariest thing they could have is a force effect. But they're only drawing 1 card. If they attack with Psychic Frog, I will just throw stuff in front of it. I don't even care about this damage coming through. All right. I've got a lot of freaking rhinos, that's for sure. I have no idea what's in their hand. They've got to attack all, right? They're giving Psychic Frog flying, which doesn't matter. All right, so we're going to take 8 here. That's the lowest. That's the lowest I'm willing to go. Okay. Block here. Block here. Just to absorb some damage. I don't think there's a card that they could have in hand that can disrupt my combo. They might have one. Force of Negation would be a pain, but we haven't seen any indication they're playing that. I don't see a single removal spell in any of the cards they revealed. All right, we've got 8 life. We're going to drop to 7 here. We drew a backup Aluren, which we're not going to survive to cast. If this Aluren is countered, we are definitely over. But they don't have Force of Will mana. All right, I'll get the Bayou. We're just going to go green. Okay, green, blue, blue, Aluren. All right, they're probably reading the card. Okay, now, first things first, I'm going to cast Uro. Right? Yeah, Uro. Cast without paying its mana cost. We're going to put the sacrifice trigger on the stack first. I'm going to hide all this stuff. This is not important. Sacrifice trigger. Now we gain life. We draw a card. No. Now I'm going to put this into play. Okay. I'll return this to hand. Okay. And now I'll just return it to hand. Okay. I just have to make sure I don't screw up. Click something wrong. Cast without paying its mana cost. Okay. Click. There might be some way to like loop this, but I don't actually know how to. I probably need to learn that if I'm going to play this deck a lot. Return. Cast without paying mana cost. Just going to drag this over here so I can click more readily. Boom. No. Play this out. Return this to hand. Okay. Pay 1 life to return to my hand. Once I have more life, then I can just do the loop with... Okay, my opponent is super chill. Thank you to you, Barf, for conceding here and not making me click a whole bunch. That may actually be like a huge thing for games 2 and games 3. All right, so looking at their deck, Hydroblast, did we see any red? We did see the Cascade red person. I think Consign to Memory is actually the card we want to put in, though. I think Harbinger is really strong here because I didn't see a single... I don't know if they can win with just blue mana based on what they showed me. So let's go ahead and think about what is bad here. I didn't see Brainstorm in there. I mean, technically we just have a single Orcish Bowmasters and win that way, but that is kind of annoying. Actually, our opponent will likely concede, even if we just have 1 Bowmasters in the deck. So I think what I can do is I can take these Bowmasters out. They're not really going to do anything. Okay, so let's see. So I'm not going to board out the combo because I do think it's likely that we need to win that way. But being able to go down to 1 Bowmasters is great. There is a situation where we could they could counter Bowmasters. I don't imagine them. Wow, this person got 9th at Buffalo Chicken Dip. So I'll stop chatting until I've finished sideboarding. But I think Force Negation probably comes in just as another way to combat their combo. And then I think the cards we can take out would be Psychic Frog. Doesn't seem super strong, but it might be okay. I could maybe take out more Uros. No, I don't think that's correct. I think I'm going to take out some Psychic Frogs. Now we're at 62, and we could just take out all the Psychic Frogs. I'm not sure that that's correct, but we want a lot of cards that easily trade with their threats, and we happen to be playing a ton of Icefang, Coatl, and Baleful Strix, which do trade profitably. Okay, so Harbinger of the Seas hand, I'm keeping this, and we're just going to play basics. We're going to hope that our Harbinger and our Icefangs can outrace their whatever it is they're doing over there. I mean, it got 9th at Buffalo Chicken Dip, which is not a substantial thing. Like that's a serious tournament. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to just play this out, and I get a basic island here, and then next turn I can potentially Ice Fang. They suspended, so the great news is if they suspend and we have Death Touch, they're only going to be able to attack in once. And I'm just going to go ahead and pop this out as a reminder that we have 3 turns left before the Rhino Apocalypse. All right. I'm not going to fetch because I do want to play on basics here. I think I just play this out. And I'll pass and I'll keep Ice Fang up. Next turn, I can go get a second island. But then I won't be able to get a swamp. Because this is double blue. So far, they don't have anything in their graveyard, so they don't have Delirium. By the way, if you hear piano in the background, it's just my kids playing. They love playing piano and experimenting with different sonic landscapes, different melodies and chords and stuff. They're very young kids, so don't expect to hear, Bach or anything out of there, but it's really cool. Okay, so yeah, they are going all non-basic, which I love to see. I'm hoping that this Harbinger really blows them out, but they could have a force for it. What is this? We didn't see a lot of the traditional Cascade cards. Psychic Frog is fine. Okay, and I'm just going to fetch an island end step and attempt to resolve an Ice Fang Coatl, which can potentially trade with it. Boom, boom, Coatl. What say ye? We have Pyro. I don't think they would board in Pyro when they're trying to cascade into 2-drops. They could. All right, that's good value. We're keeping our opponent at bay here. All right, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to be super aggro with this Harbinger. And if they counter, we've got lots of recourse. Because I would love to lock them out of colors completely. And they're most definitely going to force this. And because we have another Ice Fang Coatl, we potentially have enough counterplay to stop both their Psychic Frog and their 2 Crashing Footfalls creatures. They're cycling Lorien Revealed. They're going to be able to get a basic island, which doesn't matter. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter. You already had basic islands. Okay, now I'll just wait. So this is Death Touchy. And yeah, we just have to chill and hope to draw into other cards, blue-green cards. Mostly Coatls. We can always block with Harbinger if we want to get colored mana back, but we've slowed them down substantially. I don't know that they have anything that they can cast here that like conveniently stops Ice Fang. They may just chill and wait for their footfalls. Okay. Well, this is going to be a block for me. And then I can attack in for 2. I might as well attack in for 2. I don't think they have any flash creatures that they can cast with just blue mana. Okay. Force Negation is great. Actually, we can stop the Crashing Footfalls. We can beat them down. I think that's what I'm going to do. I've learned that even when you have something like this, it is good to go ahead and play out your fetches so you can fetch later. So what I'm going to do is when this goes on the stack, I'm going to attempt a Force of Negation. And then if they counter that, I can brainstorm and maybe find another interaction. Actually, I think it's safer. This is likely the last spell they're going to be able to cast, other than maybe like a Lorien Revealed or something. Because they're casting. Now the spell goes on the stack. I just have to do this right. All right, I'm going to play around Soft Permission. I'm going to pitch Cavern Harpy. I don't even care about that at this point. But Brainstorms can be good to potentially draw me into more permission. Force Negation of their own. Okay, let's Brainstorm. Can we find a force? All right, we didn't find a force. In fact, we found really bad stuff. We can't decay. So these are all dead cards. So I think what we have to do is we have to just draw through these. And Brainstorm actually does get us a card closer. And there's still a chance we can find a force. I'm going to do it. Because if we stop this, it's like huge. Okay, we didn't. But we do have Ponder. Okay, Ponder is a huge relief. So I'm thinking almost that I want to ponder before I deploy the Ice Fang, but actually I'm probably going to need to deploy the Ice Fang just to reduce the amount of damage we take here. So I've used 2 of my 4 brainstorms. Yeah, I think I am going to Ice Fang just for mana efficiency. So we're going to draw a land that we don't want. Oh, Dispute. Okay, well, that actually changes the dynamic quite a bit. Okay, so we could lose here. So I'm going to play quickly in case we do have to play game 3. So we're drawing a dead card. Ponder. I'm looking for... Baleful Strix doesn't help. In fact, most of our deck is shut off because we couldn't fetch that black source. If they attack, we attack back. I think we do that for a turn before we sacrifice the Harbinger. They're down to 3 mana. Yeah, we shuffled. So, yeah, we're drawing wild. I think we wait one more turn because I just don't want to, like, give up on the Harbinger here. Oh, did I play a land? I should have played a land. I think I played the Trop. Okay, so, yeah, we're taking this. And then next turn, we're going to take a ton. But we are going to be able to potentially abrupt decay one of them. But they're going to be stacking up like cards in their hand that they can cast when this leaves play. Not sure even what we could draw here. Uro would be good. Oh, wow. That's good. So this draws us a card. Actually, there's no reason not to just tap these islands here in case we do somehow get rid of her. At this point, if she dies, we can start bringing Uro back, which is good. I'll go ahead and play this. And then it's going to die. And then I think I'm going to play out the other land just so I can have a huge turn after this dies. Okay. So my huge turn will consist of abrupt decay on one of the tokens and bringing Uro back and potentially playing a Ice Fang Coatl. Although I think the smart thing to do is just try to bring Uro back first. They've got a lot of mana. Yeah, I think I probably decay one of their tokens in step. I am going to block and absorb some damage. I can both Ice Fang and Abrupt Decay here. Let's see what they do. Okay, so in step, I'm going to start by Ice Fanging. If they counter this, that's fine. They have Mystical Dispute. They've got Force of Will. It's in. This will trade with one of those. Right, and now I'm just going to go ahead and I am going to decay one of these. It's uncounterable. I need the mana. I have Brainstorm next turn in case like total desperation kicks in. I am going to get a Swamp just in case I find another Harbinger of the Sea. In fact, I should have gotten a Forest there. Yeah, that was a misplay. Yeah, because then if I got the Forest, I could potentially have Harbinger go live. And also, wait, green. All right, I need to play faster in case there's a game 3. There's nothing they can do here. Okay, so we got rid of some of the immediate threat. Like this one's kind of accounted for. We can price in 3 damage there. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by brainstorming here. Do they have Bowmasters? They don't. Okay, well, we got the combo. I can put this back. So let's say I Aluren here. I can bounce with Cavern Harpy, but that's not powerful enough. Let's see. I could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I can't. I'll have to try Aluren next turn. I think this turn I have to try to get Uro back or I'm dead. I'm not dead on board necessarily though. Okay, so what I'm going to do. These are my combo pieces. I'll see whether Uro resolves. Without Uro, there's not really a path to victory. Green, green. Blue. Blue. Oh, wait. No, I'm not going to tap like that. I'm going to go green, green. Because that way I'll have all 3 colors in case I need them. And we're going to attempt to bring Uro back. 1, 2, 3, 5. It doesn't really matter. We don't do anything with our graveyard other than bring Uro back. They have Force. I'm sad. I can try to bring it back next turn. Looks like they have some sort of interaction here. Okay, it's Force. Now what I'm going to do is I think I'll play this out. Just doesn't hurt to have the land. I am going to keep this because next turn I can potentially combo. In fact, I think I'm going to go ahead and ponder now, which may seem greedy because I already know what at least one of my top cards are. Yeah, I'll put force. Oh no, I screwed up. Yeah, I needed that Kevin Harpy. I think I'm just going to shuffle. All right, we got a land that doesn't do anything. Yeah, that was embarrassing, but I misclicked. I needed to put Cavern Harpy into my hand. I was just playing out all this mana because I was expecting to have to Uro next turn. So we're going to drop a lot in life, and we can probably die here, depending on what they have. They have 3 cards left. There we go. Yeah, they're going to have a ton of creatures in play. Now I think the only way we can win is with the combo. What do they get? 43 cards. Okay. Oh, because it's a... okay, I get it. They didn't find it. Okay, so we're not dead necessarily. But I still have to block this Rhino, and then we're dead next turn if Uro doesn't resolve. They don't have force mana, but we can potentially attempt to return Uro twice. We do have enough mana, I think. So we've got green, 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 blue, 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 and we can get one more blue. Okay, I go to block. Yeah, because I have an Underground Sea in my deck that I can go fetch. All right, so this kills it. Now we're not going to be able to... Oh, okay. Yeah, I think we go ahead and start by trying to return Uro. This is a lot of... I'm going to use this green mana just to make sure I have lots of blue left. We'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we will have exactly enough to attempt to bring it back if this fails. That's fine. We are dead on board, but that is okay. I just need... Oh, Cavern Harpy actually does it. Because I can bounce it to hand and I can recast it. I don't have the mana to recast. I do have the mana to recast it. All right. There's no point in playing this out. We might as well just keep it in hand because we don't want to feed their opposition agent. I'm going to go ahead and ponder here. I can just Aluren again, or yeah, I can just Uro again. Okay, and I might have missed some combo there just because I'm trying to click fast and I'm like panicking. But this should put us high enough in life that we can survive. And we'll keep this one. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to play this out. I need all the mana I can get. All right, and we don't have mana to bring him back again. I am planning to win this game. They've already demonstrated that they don't really have any other win cons in their deck. They churn through their entire deck. So if they attack here, I think that will be bad for them. We did it. Wow. Wow, that was crazy. 3-0 with... These have been long games, hard-fought games. Wow. Yeah, let's go to the next one. And Barf, if you see this, congratulations again on your Buffalo Chicken place. Ninth place, slightly out of top 8 contention, but still amazing performance. Very cool deck. It didn't even occur to me, like, why is he playing Cascade? But yeah, if you have those in your deck, you don't need to play the more expensive ones. You can just play 2-drops. So you just cut out the 1-drops and the 0-drops, and suddenly you've got a much lower to the ground, much more flexible version of the Rhinos deck. So that's the first time I played against it. I like it. All right, our luck may have run out because our opponent is likely on 12 post, but this is most of the combo. These are good cards. I'm going to keep this. They have 4 Vexing Baubles in their deck. They also have, of course, my least favorite card, one of my least favorite cards, Sowing Mycospawn. So I think it's highly likely that we just get completely destroyed here. We'll see whether they have, turn 2 One Ring. Okay, so I think the correct line is to just play this out and pass, and we can get a Surveil land. I don't think it matters to get basics. They're not going to be going after our basics. And by playing a lot of non-basics this game, they're likely going to assume that we wouldn't do something like put Harbinger of the Seas in our deck, and that's where we're going to get them. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get the Surveillant here. We're going to do the blue-black one. These Surveillants are great in combo decks like this, by the way. That is an above average draw. However, it doesn't really help us advance our game plan. What is our game plan? Our game plan is to somehow survive and get to 4 mana so that we can... they've got mismatched lands. That's great. But I don't think they're slow rolling the... I mean, everything they've seen so far would suggest that we're on like blue-black tempo. So I can keep that illusion up. I think I'm going to keep this. And I'm just going to play out a Strix this turn. There's no reason... Yeah, I'll just do it like this. Black, blue, Strix. We're going to get an extra card here. This will trade with a Sowing Mycospawn and potentially buy us a little time. Another land. I mean, we are playing a high land count of 20. What I really need to do next turn is probably go fetch our green-blue Surveillant. Oh, they got Planar Nexus. They've got mana out the wazoo. They've got 6 mana, I think. If this is One Ring... So one good thing about One Ring is I don't really care that much. But if it's Sowing Mycospawn, I do care. Especially if they're able to exile and do the trick. And it looks like they were close to doing that. If they have... Okay, One Ring. So I don't really care about One Ring because I'm a combo deck. It still kind of sucks. But I've got Orcish Bowmasters that I can play next turn. And if I get a Aluren, the game's just over. It's not that big of a deal. Okay, we continue to draw cards that we don't want to see. There's no point in attacking. I'm going to just play this out, and I'm going to use this to fetch the Surveillant. If we find a Aluren, we still win. The moment they tap that One Ring, we are going to flash in our Bowmasters. Yeah, so we're going to do that. They do have Kozilek's Command, so they can potentially respond with that at instant speed. We do have the ability to go get a Trop and Brainstorm for a Force if they have Kozilek's Command. Okay, so they're drawing a lot of cards, which is very good for them. But we did hit them for a little bit. And again, if we get Cavern Harpy going, we'll be able to potentially win. They're gaining some life back. Gain 3 life. That's good for them. 6 mana. Green mana. Oh, no. They're going to exile our lands. So irritating. I don't like this card at all. And there's nothing I can do. See, they're going after my basic. It's cheap. Anyway, I'll try not to complain too much. But like I do think that this... double yeah, and then they play Tabernacle. I'm not going to show them any more on my deck. This game's over, unfortunately. Like the One Ring was bad enough, but like they are going to be able to exile 2 of our lands, and then we can only keep 1 of our creatures. Yeah, this is like a terrible matchup. Okay, so granted it's a terrible matchup. We're definitely going the combo route. Harbinger's coming in. Consign to Memory's coming in. We don't have to worry about blocking their stuff. So I think we could probably even bring in Force Negation. And keep in mind, we're just taking out a bunch of blue cards, right? We're taking out blue cards and we're putting blue cards in. So it doesn't even matter. We can still keep the combo. I think Psychic Frog has higher upside than Icefang Coatl. Sorry, Icefang Coatl. Because, I mean, the Psychic Frog early on can snowball and win the game. Icefang Coatl is just going to cantrip and proceed to do nothing of importance. We can add 1 more card. Force of Vigor might be that card. That's the only card that would make sense other than adding 1 of our creatures back in. Creature count. We've got 8, 11, 16 creatures in Aluren. It's kind of almost ridiculous how low our creature count is. Force of Vigor can hit... the main thing it would probably hit would be... Oh, it can't even hit Vexing Bubble. I don't think we bring it in. I think I'm just going to bring one of these Ice Things back in. I don't care about the Death Touch. The fact that I can cast it at instant speed makes it marginally better. Let's do it. And if you do have like this plus Cavern Harpy, you can like just bounce and you pay a life and you draw a card. It's not as good as having Uro, but it will do the trick in a pinch. All right. This is good. We've got the combo here. I think what I do is... we don't have the combo, but we have the really good sideboard card. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep here. I'm going to hope they don't fetch basics. I I think we just open with a ponder. I'm going to island ponder just in case they do have a wasteland in their deck. I think they have a wasteland that they can go get with their creature. So we want to get forest into play. Okay, this is actually fine. So Cavern Harpy doesn't help right now. Psychic Frog does help. Next turn, we could potentially go Swamp Psychic Frog. And with Force Negation up, it does protect us a little bit from just crazy explosive stuff, but it doesn't protect us from, of course, the card that we're really scared of, which is Sowing Mycospawn. Because if they nuke our, they nuke our cards, there's nothing we can do about it. But curving Psychic Frog into Harbinger is a game-winning series of plays. Because then we have a win on the board and we have a lock on the board. What we don't want to see is basics. Elvish Spirit Guide. Okay, so that is a green source. Yeah, there's the basic. This might not be quite as strong as I had hoped. I can't think of why they would cast Kozilek's Command on their turn instead of my turn, but I'm going to hope. Hope springs eternal, as they say. By getting this swamp, we basically guarantee that we're never going to be able to escape Uro. That it's going to take forever to escape Uro. I don't think escaping Uro is a big priority, but I do want to be able to cast what's in my hand. I think if Harbinger comes down, it's going to be transitory. We're going to still have to win off Psychic Frog. Yeah, I'm not worried about ever bringing Uro back. I'm just going to keep him in my hand in case I draw Aluren. And then hopefully Psychic Frog will draw us a card, or Brainstorm will find us another land. Blue and black are our more important, win the game colors, though. Okay, so what's this? Crop rotation. I'm just going to force this. That might seem aggressive, but it's what you do. You force these. Ice Fang is not good in this matchup. Veil is super duper powerful. That is what we call a blowout, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see what they get here. Yeah, that sucks. Usually you do want to counter these. Now they have 4 mana. Now they have the freaking One Ring. They did put their land away, and that was their only forest. So if we get super duper lucky and we top deck a blue source, I am slamming this Harbinger. Most definitely. Okay, let's attack first. I want to see if I can get Harbinger this turn. I do want to discard. No, I'm not going to discard. My reasoning is because it's just 1 extra damage now. Oh, they had the freaking thing. I feel so dumb. Yeah, I'm just going to brainstorm. All right. So I think we put this back. Put this back. Now I'm going to go get a Tropical Island. And I'm going to cast another Psychic Frog. And the next turn, I'll be able to cast Harbinger of the Sea if it even matters by then. It probably won't, sadly. But we're going to put more stuff on the table. I don't know why I attacked into the One Ring like a dumbass. Sorry, I didn't mean to say ass there. If you have kids watching, I try not to cuss at all. My general rule is, if they say it in one piece, it's okay. Yeah. So they got 8 cards in hand. 8 cards. They've got so much mana. This is 7 mana. Okay, Vexing Bubble's fine. I don't care about Vexing Bubble at this point. Another One Ring. That actually doesn't matter because what they don't know is we're about to negate their mana base. That's fine. They can draw a card. All right. Okay, so I'm not sure if they play another forest, but they probably play other Elvish Spirit Guides. Blue, colorless, Harbinger. Does this end the game? If they just go to the next turn, no big deal, then I'm going to be very worried. Yeah, and I can't attack for reasons we saw last turn. Okay, so I've got plenty of damage on board. Their One Ring is going to just do 1 damage to them, but they can start drawing. They can find an Elvish Spirit Guide. That's fine. All they need to do is find their Boseiju, And no, wait, actually, Boseiju doesn't do it. I'm not sure how they kill Harbinger, but I assume that they have some way to do it. Okay, they're going to draw 2 cards. They've got 10 cards in hand. Dismember will do it, and I wouldn't be surprised if they have Dismember. But if they Dismember, I still am attacking with Psychic Frogs and potentially drawing a lot of cards. I'm not going to be able to erase the drawing power of... Oh, wow, they have freaking Plow. Well, this was a really bad strategy. Okay, well, yeah, there's nothing I can do about that, unfortunately. Best card in my deck is probably the second one. There's a Vexing Bubble. Are they going to Sylvan Microspawn my lands now? Once upon a time. Okay. Yeah, I said that not because I'm like, but I saw them adding a lot of mana. Okay, they are going to Sylvan Microspawn here. Yeah. All right. So yeah, I think we were just too late. If we'd been able to come out like 1 turn earlier, maybe they wouldn't have been able to find the... But the fact that they had planes, they were definitely ready for it. Tabernacle. Yeah. Fortunately, I guess they don't have a Wasteland in their deck. Okay, well, this isn't the worst. So what I'm going to do, during my upkeep, I have to pay these. I'll pay with that, and then I will pay with this, and then I will keep up the ability to brainstorm here. Force Negation is not a bad card. I think what we do is we just exile some cards, and we keep Force Negation up. I don't see it mattering in the face of One Ring with the amount of cards they're going to draw. The other alternative, of course, we just dump our hand. I don't think that's correct, though. I think we need to keep Force Negation up just in case. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and I'm going to do the same with this. Exile 3 cards. 1, 2, 3. Okay. We could count on potentially drawing another card. In fact, if I brainstorm now, I can see what cards we're going to draw, and I can put them back. So we don't want Psychic Frog number 3, and we can draw these 2. Polluted Delta is not bad. We do have more basics we can fetch. I think it's more important to stop whatever they're doing, and we just keep our lands out. They can exile one of our lands with their next Sowing Microspawn. I'm just going to discard these 2. So I'll put this back. I'll put this back. Put it back. Okay. And then I'm just going to discard this. I'm going to discard this. I'm going to attack for 4 damage in the air. I'll draw those 2 cards. And I will have Force Negation up. And I probably won't use that on a Plow. I would only use that on maybe like a Crop Rotation. Replacement One Ring probably would be a good use. Okay. I assume they're going to pay for Microspawn. They're drawing first. Yeah, I would say we're like 5% to win this one. If they can Sowing Microspawn twice, they can actually even like stop us from... Interesting they paid the white. Like they totally didn't need to do that, but that might mean that they have something really big that they're going to cast. Like big Ulamog. That's kind of like their top end in a lot of these decks. If this is a Kozilek's command, I'm going to force very readily. Okay, it's just going to be... Yeah, they're going to go get Ulamog, and they're going to be able to cast it next turn. And I don't believe there's... Oh, wait, I can't even force because of Vexing Bubble. I'm just going to concede. I don't think that they're... So what's going to happen is, even if I attack in, I'm going to be able to do 4 damage. This is going to do 3 damage, but they're going to be able to go get Ulamog here. They're not even getting Ulamog. They've exiled one of them. Yeah, I'm just going to concede. It's not a hopeless matchup, but it is a really tough matchup. Like really any blue deck against this deck, especially when you don't have Wastelands or anything. So our trophy run's dead, but I'm still going to try to win this last one. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually go grab some pizza with my kids. It's Friday night, and I always get pizza with my kids on Friday night. Oh, it's too late. The game's already started. I can't. And I'm up against Marcos 21. That name seems familiar. Let's see. Yeah, hopefully my wife will be understanding. And when they get home from the pool, okay. Yeah. So 4-color Zenith. This is likely Nadu. Nadu. Everywhere. The guy gets around. The bird wizard gets around. Okay. This is a great hand against Nadu. I'm going to keep this. We have Disruption. I mean, we don't even know what they are, but I'm just going to start with this. I never brainstorm turn 1. I always wait. Brainstorming turn 1 is a Doomsday play or a Epic Storm play, or somebody who has like a land cycler. You could do that with like Rescam, for example. I'm not going to play on basics just because my hand doesn't grant me the ability to do that readily. Okay, here's a pawn. Yep, that's very much like a Nadu play. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go get my... I'm going to go get a Surveil land. I'll get the green-blue land, the Hedge Maze. And then what we're going to do is looking for land. That is quite good. I'm going to keep that on top of my library. And I'm just going to attempt to kill that thing right now. I think that... Actually, there's not really any risk. I could Psychic Frog now because they're not going to be able to play Nadu until the turn after. So they could draw a force between now and then, but definitely the higher upside thing is... Well, let's think about this. So let's say hypothetically we Bowmasters here. That's definitely dead. And then the next turn we could Psychic Frog. But if we have Psychic Frog out, I'm trying to think of what they could play at 2 mana that's really scary. We can always Bowmaster next turn, and then we'll be able to potentially draw a card. Worst case scenario, we do have the ability to... and they may force this. Okay, they didn't force this. But like... Abrupt Decay cannot be forced, and that is a very good card against Nadu, assuming they don't have any mana disruption here. Generally, these decks don't play mana disruption. They're all in combo decks. Let's see what they play here. Halfling is annoying. Ponder's fine. We would have locked that off had we Bowmastered. All right. Now we can't Bowmaster Nomad because Bowmaster could just point the damage over to Delighted Halfling, which is very sad. Okay, so here's what I think we do. I think we attack in, and they're not going to block. We're going to get a card. If they block for some reason, in my opinion, it's probably a bad block. Like, they shouldn't do that. Okay, so we get a card. Is it a land? It is a land. Okay, now what we can do is I want to get Halfling out of play, but I don't actually have a force. So even if I get Halfling out of play, it's not good. What I need to do is just wait and see if they even have the Nadu. If they put Nadu on the stack, I will Prismatic End, or I'll Abrupt Decay the Nomad. And I also have the ability to fetch a Surveil land end step. A Resolved Nadu is annoying, but we can overcome it. We can't overcome the combo, and we do have to deal with this on the stack. Yeah, so what I'll do here is I'll go green, black, decay this. And there's no way they can interact with this, I don't think. Okay, and now they have that, unless they have a follow-up Nomads in Core, which would be terrifying. Okay, now I'm going to Surveil. I'm going to get the blue-black land. Hopefully we can find another land. They're plowing here. That's fine. I have lots of other stuff that can come out. I want to get to Aluren. Aluren would basically be... It wouldn't be victory here, but I would get a lot of cards. I'm going to keep that. I think actually I Aluren here and I just dump my hand. I think that's the play. And there's a risk that they could dump their hand, but I don't think they have the combo in hand. So let's get Trop. Green, blue, blue, green. Aluren. If they have a force, they're going to force this. They didn't force it. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by playing out a Baleful Strix. Cast with Aluren, please. Okay, we get to draw a card. We can't play this land. We can play this out. And I'm going to hope to surprise them with Orcish Bowmasters. Okay, that's another Aluren that doesn't really do anything. So we do have a blocker. I think we just have to pass. They have so many creatures in their deck. It's really risky, but my hope is that they brainstorm or do something like that to try to find creatures and we can Bowmasters in response and get a bunch of pings. Because I would like to... I mean, this is super scary. Bowmasters definitely just has to target them. we can't really afford to target anything else. But they can't attack in while the Strix is there. And generally these decks don't play removal, but they are actually playing removal. So maybe less of a dedicated combo deck. This may be the older school Nadu deck. I'm going to Bowmasters here. This will make it harder for them to do anything. Note that while Teferi is in play, I can't cast anything. But if they bounce something back to hand, suddenly I can cast everything again. So this does take away the flash, I think, from my creatures. Because it entered play, and the rule is like, if something says you can't do it, then it usually overrules any can ability. So I do think that I can't use my element of surprise anymore. And they take up Teferi. Very scary, but they don't have the card. Okay, so what we're going to do here, another Ice Fang. I think we start by Ice Fanging just to get a little deeper. If we find the combo, we can just win. I'm going to attempt to find the combo here. Yeah, I don't want to play out a fetch yet, just in case. So, okay, so we don't find the combo, but we can let's put these back. Okay, now I'm going to play this out. Oh, I should have played differently. Because what I could have done is, I'm going to get a basic force here, but I could have gotten a few more snow permanents to turn on the Ice Fang. Play this. We'll draw a card. And then we can return it as well, which will give us another crack at finding it. If we do find, yeah, I'll play that. Okay, it's dead. I'm going to go ahead and Uro again. This draws me a little bit closer to my 3 of Harpy. I am going to go ahead and play this out now. This will target Teferi. Just wear them down a little bit. It also makes my Orc army a little bit bigger. Okay, and I'm going to go green, green, blue. Oh, wait. Sorry. I'm going to blue, blue. I need to get faster at this if I want to be able to actually win the game, because my opponent might very well make me combo off. I'm going to make them combo off if they combo. None. Okay. Do we find the Harpy? We don't. We get a Swamp, which I'm going to go ahead and play out. Okay. And I think we go ahead and we go to attacks. I think we attack everything at Teferi. So we can attack for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They can only block one of them. So Teferi can still survive. I think we just wait. These have Death Touch. So yeah, I'll just attack Teferi for 2. This will keep Teferi from being able to draw a card, at least. The next turn we'll definitely be able to kill Teferi. We just have to fade a draw. I mean, they can, of course, like draw trigger. That'll cause a lot of chaos if they do draw trigger. Not worried about plows or anything like that. Cantrips are dead cards here. Yeah, I don't care. I think it's just F6. Yeah, if they have it, they have it. If they have to pass the turn for some reason, there is the out of us potentially cantripping or drawing naturally the Harpy, which will win the game for us. Even with the Teferi out, we can still do it. Actually, we can't. We can't win with Teferi out, I don't think. What is this? Greenstone Zenith. Okay. They're going to get Bristly Bill. Oh, they're going to get Leovold. Interesting. All right. So let's see what we draw. Okay. So this doesn't really do anything. I think what we need to do is just attack Teferi in the air with our, and that will kill Teferi. Yeah, so I'm going to do that. And yeah, do you want to trade your Nadu? Do you want to lose your Nadu or do you want to lose your Teferi? I think Teferi's going down here. I don't think it hurts to go ahead and play this out. I'm trying to think of a reason. that it would be bad to do so. I mean, they know we have nothing. It doesn't really matter. I'm just going to pass. Yeah, that may have been bad. Like, we could have bluffed that we had something. I'm going to F6. If they draw the combo, they draw it. They don't have super good attacks. Like, I will definitely block, like, a Leovold here. I don't care about this 3 damage. I've got 32 life. It's going to take them forever to kill us. But they are 3 minutes ahead. We might actually just be able to attack in and kill them. Let's see. Force of Will is not a bad card. It stops. So I think what we do here is we go to combat, attack with just these. They're going to die before we do. We pass. I should go ahead. I'm not going to F6 here because of the force. They have 2 cards. All right, coming in. We're 1 card away from bringing back Uro. Actually, we're 2 cards. Let's get an island. Fetch the thin. I can't brainstorm even if I draw it. All right, and I think we win here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by playing out Cavern Harpy. And then I'll just target one of my Bowmasters. And I'll see if they'll concede, if they make me click a whole bunch. Oh, actually, let's see. Whenever you or a permanent you control becomes the target of a spell, I'm going to draw a bunch of cards, and then I'm going to find an Abrupt Decay, and then I'll kill it. That is the line. Oh, wait, I can't draw cards. Man, they totally broke up my combo. I think I just get this back, and now I'm going to play it, and I'm going to target them. And they can draw a card if they want, but it's going to do double draw trigger. Are you going to draw and take 2 damage? This will make my life a lot faster and a lot easier. They could potentially rip the combo, but even if they rip the combo, I want to be able to target them a lot. Okay. Now I'm just going to return this to my hand. I'll play it out. They're going to really drain my clock here. All right, I'm going to stop talking. I'm just going to loop. Oh, they drew. Okay. They're hoping to draw out of this, maybe realizing the situation. They can keep drawing. We're not quite out of the woods where we can attack and kill them. Let's see, we can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think I'm going to do it one more loop. They'll get a card, but I'm going to get double pings. They do have Force of Will mana up. So if they do successfully stop this, that's fine. And I'll just start attacking. Okay. That is fine. Now I'm going to attack you. All right. And I'll just keep my my cards back here. If you want, you can chump. That's fine. All right. And now we just have to see what they draw. If they don't draw, I think we can kill them next turn. We are way down on clock. Yeah, they have the combo, but I mean, it's not a lock. So they're going to get 2 more looks here. They're 4 minutes ahead on clock, which matters a lot. Okay, they're passing to my turn. All right, let's see what we draw. They probably have a force or a plow or something. Oh, let's take a look at what they have. They have force. Okay, so I'm just going to return Uro, which will burn their force. It may not burn their force. They may just let it happen because I can't draw off of it. Okay, they're going to start drawing here. Unfortunately, I can't F6 if they do this. Yeah, because I do want to attack. Okay. Yeah, because if I... this sucks because I can't F6, so I just have to sit here and watch them do this repeatedly. And they can even play additional creatures at instant speed. Each time it's like draining like 2 or 3 seconds. Yeah, and it's actually really screwed up because they can like totally bully me in terms of like I shouldn't have cast anything. I didn't even really think about this, but like if you're behind on clock and the Nadu player can just start pinging and you can't attack for lethal because they've got like all this stuff out. They can cast Nadu's instant speed and there's that Delighted Halfling. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to F6 and then I'm going to, if it goes to combat, I'll just quickly turn it off. I think they're trying to trick me into not going to my combat step. Okay, so they forced it, which is what we expected to happen. Now I'm going to go to combat. I'm going to attack with boom, 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 boom. I don't think there's any reason not to attack with these. No, I'm not going to attack with those because they will likely, and I'm just going to F6 through the rest of the turn. They are not able to crack those fetches. Force of Will is painful for them probably. They have a lot of Nadus in hand. I wouldn't be surprised if they traded one of their Nadus off here. They're going to have to block. I mean, they'll be able to draw a lot of cards. I'm just going to F6, and they're going to have to do this a whole lot, and I'm going to try to get even on clock. Okay, they went to 3 lands, surveilling. I'm not even sure why they're bothering with that, because, I mean, they can just draw like a ton of cards next turn. Going to 2 land, or 2 life. They have so many Nadus, they can just cast them at instant speed, too. I'm not going to do anything. Just do whatever you want to do. I'm just trying to run out your clock and see if you make some sort of mistake. You're not going to be able to kill me in one attack, I don't think. Yeah, it's going to be really hard to win with my combo control deck in 12 minutes. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the same thing I did earlier and just switch to a mid-range deck. And in fact, what I'll probably do is I'll go to my next turn, I'll declare attackers, and they'll start doing this, and then I'll just F6. Just to maximize the amount of their time I can chew up while minimizing the amount of time my time I can chew. Okay. Yeah, they have Caracas, which makes it less likely that I'll be able to win with Uro. They have their own Uro. It doesn't matter. Actually, it doesn't matter. I should have actually targeted this because then they'd have to retarget it. This is probably going to be a Teferi. That's a card that they would actually have to pay mana to cast. Leovold is just an absolute house in this matchup, though. I mean, like, pretty much everything in my deck draws cards. Okay, there's their Uro. Again, I'm just trying to get the clocks even. This is going to focus on them, I think. They can draw even more cards if they want, but I don't even care about them drawing cards at this point. They've got 10 cards left in their deck. There's Teferi. The old wrap effect whenever you got so many permanents on the table. They're going to come in for an attack. They discard a bunch of cards. Okay. Doesn't really matter what I draw. Abrupt Decay. Oh, wow. Abrupt Decay. All right, so let's go ahead and decay. I mean, they have another Nadu. I don't think there's anything to target here. I think if I hit Nadu, that's their only flyer. That's fine if they want to draw cards and deal damage to themselves. I definitely could have hit Leovold, but I don't think it really matters. I just want to do a little more damage. I'm going to go ahead and attack with everything except for the Bowmaster itself. I'm not going to worry about anything else. I'm just going to F6 and see what they do. If they want to draw a bunch of cards, they want to flip a bunch of stuff. They're probably going to multi-block. There's their Nadu that they're going to trade. Okay, there's another Nadu. So they are like basically out of Nadus. They may be able to attack me for lethal here. 1, 2, 3, 6. Apply that. That's fine. I'm just going to F6 again. It's actually, I don't think it's a lethal attack. So I get another turn of like wasting time on their clock potentially. And every time they attack with their arrow, they get a bunch of triggers. Another Abrupt Decay would be really good. So we could get rid of arrow and just get more clicks. But there's no way we're winning. Another Abrupt Decay. Gonna hit that, and then I think I can survive without them bringing it back, so that'll give me some time. Off their clock. They didn't even bother Caracasing it back. I'm just gonna keep this up so I can, stay alive another turn maybe. Keen-Eyed Curator is that's a lethal threat, but they have to click a bunch of stuff to get that out of. Got 5 cards in their deck. There's no chance of them decking. Okay, so we are basically even in clocks going into game 2. They've demonstrated that it takes them a very long time to win. Of course, it takes me a long time, but I'm going to board out Aluren. I don't have time to do Aluren combo. That is one of the good things about Aluren is like that you have the range and that you can win out of nowhere against like a whole bunch of rhinos or something like that. But the bad thing about Aluren is that, let's see, are they going to just attack and pass? Yeah, that's a lethal attack. I'm not going to bother blocking. All right, we're dead. Okay, so that was Nadu, typical Nadu. We got the clocks about even, but we have to win 2. So let's talk about how we're going to do that. First of all, I think Endurance and Carpet are going to be good here. I think Harbinger is worth it a shot, just in case we can lock them off. They are playing a ton of non-basics. We did this earlier. We can do it again. All right. I'm just dreading, like, this is going to be the most played deck in Legacy. I'm confident that Nadu is just going to be everywhere like it was in Modern, and I don't like it. We take out the Aluren package. We take out the Harpy package. Pretty clean. So 6 for 6. I wouldn't mind putting in Force Negation just because it does stop. Green Sun Zenith. I don't think Consign's good. I don't. Force Vigor doesn't do enough. Let's see, if we hypothetically brought these in, what will we take out? I don't think there's an obvious card that is that we should take out. I'm just gonna run it. Also, this is like kind of a 1-for-1 type matchup where you don't want to be going way down on cards. All right, we're on the play. Final match, game 2, maybe the final game. Hopefully we can hold out and stop the Nadu craziness. This hand can do it. It's got a lot of interaction. I'm going to keep it. Abrupt Decay is expensive, but it's quite good. I'm not going to be able to play on basics. I'm just going to play this out. I'm going to pass. We're going to get a Surveil land, and we are going to try to use... Yeah, we're going to Psychic Frog next turn. That's fine. One option is, of course, to just Abrupt Decay that. It's very expensive. We could do that. I think I'm going to Surveil. And let's get the Undercity Sewers. This is a keep. We'll keep this on top. We need land. This is a very mana-hungry deck. I think if we play out Psychic Frog, we basically force them to do stuff. And I think I'm going to do Psychic Frog, and then I'll, if they play out a Nadu, then I can hold up Abrupt Decay and deal with it then. But I want to at least get on the board and be attacking. We need to be aggressive. If this is Leovold, I'll be sad. Uro is fine. Uro's not going to do anything for a while. If they don't put in a land, I might... No, I'm not going to go after Delighted Halfling anymore. I don't have any removal anyway. This is a good card. Yeah, I think it's worth just clearing their Halfling. So I'll attack, and if they block, I will discard here. Or what I'll probably do is I'll just Bowmaster it. So I don't have to discard, because all these cards are good. That's great. Okay, so very quickly, I think we just pass and hold up lots of interaction. I would love to get Bowmasters going here. I need to be able to Abrupt Decay if they start to put the combo in the stack. Bristly Bill's fine. All right, they're going to get a trigger. Bristly Bill is not an amazing card outside of the combo, but it is something that we might need to remove here. Green Sun Zenith. This is probably going to get Nadu. I'll just kill whatever this comes out of this. Okay, Leovold. I can deterministically kill that, which I shall do now. I'm going to get a Force here because I would love to rip the Harbinger. They'll get a card. That's fine. All right. I'm going to draw. I'm not going to try to make efficient use of my mana here. I think we can continue to amass basics. So I think the play here is attack and see what they do. I'm not going to discard a bunch of cards from my graveyard. I will happily discard some cards to kill Bristly Bill if they choose to block there. They're not blocking. That's fine. I'm not going to discard cards unnecessarily. I'll just draw my card. Okay. I think it's fine to play this out. We have Strix now. Or actually, we have Orcish Bowmaster and we have Icefang Coatl. I think that's better. It's going to pass with a lot of mana up. Keep in mind, they probably think we are still on Aluren. This is going to get into a crazy F6 fight. I know it. We're both so low on time. But in order for it to progress that far, I have to get a win on the board. This is a Green Sun. I'm going to go ahead and do this first so I can get a card in case this is what I think it is. Leovold number 2. Carpet's a great pickup. Unfortunately, Carpet does target Leovold. Yeah, that's so bad. Oh, we're so screwed. Right. Yeah, and Leovold's quite a big boy there. I think at this point it makes sense just to go ahead and Bowmaster here and maybe ping myself. I don't want them to get a card at this point. There's not any beneficial, like taking a life is not worth giving them a card. I'll do that. Yeah, unfortunately, Carpet does count as targeting, even if you don't use it, which I learned in Eternal Weekend in the most embarrassing way. Yeah, I definitely could have brainstormed there, actually. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to attack here. They have no incentive to block it, but I'm going to like start dumping cards into this thing. I think it's my only path to victory. Okay, I'll discard Carpet, which is not going to do anything here. Discard Brainstorm. Discard a land. And I will discard a Strix. This is what you call putting all your eggs in one basket. And I'm going to discard this other frog. I'm just going to go all in on this frog. I don't like, they have a plow and they blow me out. Like, this is my chance to potentially win the game. We don't get a card. Now I'm going to play this out so I can surveil and I'll pass. They still are kind of disincentivized from using Orcish Bowmasters or surveil, like casting Brainstorms and Ponders into Orcish Bowmasters. I can ping them. They can definitely race me here. If they find a plow, the game's over. I've just accepted that. We don't have a combo in our deck that we're playing to. This Psychic Frog is basically our last hope, but we can jump the frog and do some damage that way next turn. They're not going to be able to chump it. They do have Uro in their graveyard, which they can bring back, which gains so much life, but as long as I keep jumping over Uro and hitting them, I think I might be able to get there. We'll see, but I don't think it's likely. Yeah, I'm just going to ping the army. I don't want them to get cards here. If they keep just recklessly doing this, drawing cards and stuff, our army will get really big. They have Nadu. Do they have a combo? There's Nadu. They do have the combo. I'm going to F6. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and surveil here just so I can F6. Yeah, it's a disappointing end to the day. Like, I really don't like playing against this deck. And you can say in the comments, if you're like, oh, you just don't know how to play it against it correctly. Like, what was I supposed to do here? Like, yeah, I feel like this is definitely like their combo deck is way more powerful than ours. The only advantage of our combo deck is that, well, I mean, we can board our combo out pretty easily and still have a pretty good aggro deck. I suspect that if you took out all the combo pieces, like our deck on a whole would still be better than their deck. But they don't have to worry about our combo. Like their combo doesn't benefit from our combo, whereas our combo does benefit. Or like if we play out Aluren, they can just combo, you know. So anyway, I'm gonna be quiet and I'll just see if they screw up. They have 7 minutes on the clock. I don't think that's likely, and then we'll do the post league wrap up. All right, so I have conceded. I don't think they're likely to run out of time. They have plenty of aggro pressure on the table. So that ends the league. We had a positive record, 3-2 with Aluren. Is Aluren a deck that you should play? I'm not sure that it is. I feel like to some extent we did kind of get lucky when we played up against Nadu. You can see that like we 0-2'd these last two matches against 12 post and of course Nadu. This was which one of these was a Nadu matchup. Yeah, I mean, again, like, I hope it doesn't sound dramatic, but like, Nadu's just not a very fun card to play against, and because it can get Green Sun Zenith, because it can pitch to Force, because it's a 3/4 flyer on its own that can stonewall a lot of your creatures, it's just really hard to top it. And you know what they say: if you can't beat them, join them, right? And that is not what I say. I am not the person who does that, and I kind of just don't feel like playing that deck. I did play 10 leagues with Nadu back in the day, but that was Nadu breakfast, and it was good. Like I was like 4-1ing. I got a trophy with it. It took a long time to get a trophy, like a lot longer than you would expect, considering it's like a turn 2 combo deck. But that may be a testament to my skills. But I genuinely think that like it just creates kind of unfun play patterns where like it doesn't matter what the board state is. If they get Nadu out, then they win. You could argue the same thing for Aluren, but Aluren is symmetrical. If Nadu had said like all creatures get this ability, then suddenly it would be a huge liability, and people would be like putting, Nomad Inkor in their sideboard and all this stuff, and it'd be a lot more interesting and it'd deter people. But because Aluren is symmetrical, but newer cards like Nadu are not symmetrical, I actually prefer symmetrical because, like, if you put, Lord of Atlantis in play, then all Merfolk get +1/+1. But if you put like one of the newer Merfolk, it's just your Merfolk, and so it makes it a lot less exciting, I think, and take some of the skill out of the game to make things asymmetrical. But the combo is very compact. So this is kind of almost like a good stuff deck. If you consider Icefang Coatl good stuff, it did pull its weight for sure. It was not a bad card by any means. I didn't feel at any point that like playing basics was bad because we always had the option to fetch non-basic lands. We had 5 dual lands in the deck, and then we had the 5 basics, and then we had the 10 fetches. That's a testament to the power of fetch lands. They're just great because they really do give you that option of like which direction you want to go. And because we had those, Harbinger of the Seas was really good. It wasn't good in the 12. Oh, it was so good that it had to be removed or else it would have won the game in the 12 post game, but they did have Plow. Other thoughts. Psychic Frog continues to be a good card. I don't think it's bannable. I don't think like there was never something like, oh, I drew a Psychic Frog, I win. It's not like that. Like there are so many things you can do to interact with the Psychic Frog. Even that last game where they didn't immediately have removal, like they just had a whole lot of other stuff going on their side of the table, and a 6/7 Psychic Frog didn't make a big difference. Leovold was the most critical card in that matchup, and they seem to be playing at least 2 of them in that deck because I did Abrupt Decay one of them, but they brought the other one back. So I don't know what to do. Like, I feel like this is a great mix of lands and spells. I like having effectively 22 creatures in the deck. I feel like when you're playing Aluren, just like with Esper Vial or any Vial deck, you want to have a critical mass of creatures so you can actually benefit from playing your extremely expensive 4-mana enchantment. By the way, this is a reserve list card. If you do want to play this deck, who knows, the price probably is never coming down. I would go ahead and get my 3 or 4 Allurens sooner rather than later. I have my 3. I don't think I'm ever going to play like the bigger builds or the all-in builds to play 4, but I like having these just so I can dust it off and play it every once in a while. There is another version of Aluren that uses Recruiter of the Guard, and it is less good in my opinion because it's a pure combo deck, and it's 4 colors, so you're not going to be playing Harbinger of the Sea in your 4-color deck. You can't necessarily even afford to play, a lot of like it'd be a stretch to play Psychic Frog and Recruiter of the Guard in the same deck that you're also playing a 2-green, 2-colorless enchantment. So this is basically exactly what I played at SCG Con New Jersey in the 1K. I think it was like a 10K. Was it a 10K? It might have been a 5K. I can't remember. But it was back in January of 2023. And I rolled up with basically this exact list, except it didn't have Psychic Frogs. That's it. And obviously it didn't have Harbinger of the Sea or Consigned Memory in it. But it had like basically all these other cards. And it was solid. That was before Bowmasters was printed. So it didn't have Bowmasters either. Bowmasters gives you a great win con. You could just ping them to death. And Bowmasters is an insane card on its own. So it's not embarrassing at all. Like, none of these cards are embarrassing to put in your deck, except for the Aluren and the Cavern Harpy. So if you're cool with and some people only play 2 Caverns, but I feel like you should play 3 just because it's really embarrassing if you have Aluren, but you don't have anything to do with it, all dressed up with nowhere to go. That's a bad feel. These Surveillance were amazing. They just gave us another way to sift through our deck and find our 2-card combo. We did combo a few times. I want to do shout outs to my opponents. None of them made me play it out when there was a deterministic loop. That was really chill of them. With Nadu, it's not deterministic. because I mean they could whiff. You may have seen like a previous video where a person took like 15 minutes of clock just doing Nadu stuff and then ultimately conceded because they with like 3 cards in their deck they couldn't beat me. I don't know what was going on. I was getting up and doing other things like doing my laundry and stuff and coming back periodically to check on the game. I mean it was just so Nadu is not deterministic, but Aluren is if you have the loop. Again, the loop is you get Aluren into play, you get one of these creatures into play. Baleful Strix or an Ice Fang Coatl, and you just bounce it and you draw your deck, and then you eventually get Orcish Bowmasters in play, and you play it a whole lot, gain infinite life with Uro. Yeah, when I say infinite, it's not infinite. You can gain an arbitrarily large amount of life based on how many cards you have left in your deck. Some decks do play a main deck endurance, so that if they need to, they can even endurance themselves, so they can keep going a little bit longer. But I don't think it's necessary. Endurance is a good card, but it's not like a legacy staple at this point. It's very much a sideboard option in my opinion. And it may be a one-of for Green Sun Zenith decks. But yeah, I like this. I had a lot of fun. I don't enjoy playing against Nadu decks, but all the other matchups were really exciting. And I hope you had a great time too. And I hope you will go forth and be excellent to each other and party on.